From the ACC Media Days yesterday, the commissioner of the ACC, who's got to pump his conference up.
There is significant anticipation surrounding ACC football, and our 17 football programs will all look to accomplish greatness. With 33 days until week 0, we know the focus will be on what's ahead for this year. ACC football has the toughest non-conference schedule in the country. We have elite coaching leadership. 6 ACC head coaches named to the 2024 Dodd Trophy preseason watch list. No conference has more. The ACC is the conference of quarterbacks. 13 enter the season with over 20 career touchdown passes and 3,500 career passing yards. The combination of our preeminent players and elite leadership only furthers expectations on what's ahead for our individual teams and conference. There's not a more exciting collection of teams in the country than in the ACC.
There is not.
The bullshit meter is a 99 out of 100.
There's not a more exciting collection of teams in the country.
We've got a Power 4 now. I just wish you could be like really honest and candid about your own product and say, hey, look, we know our 2 alphas are trying to get the hell out of here. I got to keep this thing together. It hasn't been great. But you know what? The ACC, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be we're going to be better than average. We've been average over the last few years. We're going to be better than average this year.
Trust me, we're happy to be part of the Power 4 and have a spot in the playoffs. Everything else is gravy to us.
That voice doesn't fit, by the way.
It really doesn't. And boy, can I tell you, the
Pesci there for a moment. There.
Joe Pesci?
Yeah.
I could hear that, like right at the start.
Yep.
There was some Joe Pesci in there. Also, did you notice the subtle flex of Jim Phillips, PhD?
Oh.
Did y'all notice that on the graphic?
I tell you,
I didn't see that.
Pull it back up,
I don't look for that kind of stuff, Rowdy.
Yeah. So we're going. So
did I tell you I went to a wedding, a physical therapist, and she came out as Dr. blah, blah, blah. And I immediately called Reed's brother-in-law, who's a physical therapist, and I was like, hey, I just got to ask you this.
Yeah.
I was like, they introduced her as a doctor. Are you a doctor? And he's like, no, I'm not a doctor.
I mean, look, I get it. If you spend the money to become PhD, you're probably going to want to put it on there. It seems a little bit out of place when you're a college football conference commissioner talking.
Dre never had to spend that money for it. He didn't.
Can I tell you,
He just threw that DR right there,
I'm
man.
Dr. Dre, and you want to argue with me? You can argue with me.
I've never liked the PH period D period.
I
there.
agree with you.
Yeah.
Let's just run them all together.
Yeah,
we know what you mean.
It should be a group there, or I feel like it should be P period H period D period.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. That's always bothered me a little bit.
You know, his assistant's got to hate working with him, and she had to check that. Hey, make sure it's PH period D.
That's
period.
right. I want them to know I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Like I've heard people. I had a college professor once that was like, "You will call me Doctor So and So." I earned it. I mean, like they were adamant. When you referred to me, you referred to me as Doctor So. I didn't spend all that money and all that time.
Now,
for you not to call me doctor.
Jim
I
Phillips
wish you'd
said,
clapped back and said, "You'll call me Big Papa. I've earned it."
I've earned it.
I think he said one thing that is accurate that we would all agree with, that they've got the toughest non-conference schedule because they're the worst of the Power 5.
Yeah,
so I think when you play the SEC and some Big 10 and some Big 12, it's going to give you the most difficult out-of-conference schedule.
That's what Forrester and I, and here's the banner that they have up at the ACC. They actually have the banner up. I've never seen this before, but they put a banner up, toughest non-conference schedule in the country.
Flex.
No, it's not the flex you think it is.
Yeah.
Hey,
everybody wants to schedule us.
Hey, can we run over here and take a picture real quick in front of the toughest non-conference schedule in the country banner? But here's the point, LT. To your point here, okay, if Clemson's playing Georgia, if Georgia Tech's playing Georgia, well, those are 2 SEC teams. So, but because of who you are, Georgia can't brag about playing Georgia Tech, right?
That's right. It actually hurts their strength of schedule, or has been.
Some of these, like Clemson, they're I guess bragging about South Carolina. Louisville's bragging about Kentucky. I don't understand this because you're playing somebody in a non-conference schedule. You're playing somebody else's conference.
Yeah, BC's playing at Missouri. California's playing at Auburn.
Yeah,
I mean those are games they're not.
I forget that's an ACC game.
Yeah, I know.
You know who can't brag about that? Auburn.
Right.
Auburn can't brag about Cal.
Yeah, these are terrible losses. If Missouri lost at home to BC, if Auburn in year 2 under Hugh Freeze lost at home to Justin Wilcox and Cal, those are bad losses.
I would venture to say that if we looked at the Sun Belt Conference, they may have a tougher out-of-conference schedule than the ACC does. If we look at a Conference USA or conferences like that, to your point, they play some big boys, some money games. they may have tougher out of conference games. I thought it was the most silliest of
I agree.
brags from the ACC.
I just don't think it's what you. I know somebody came up with that idea. Let's build the banner, and nobody ever stopped them and said, "Let's step back."
Yeah.
And just evaluate what this statement means, right?
Yeah, and I think the easy play for the ACC is expansion. Just build on the new members and how we are growing the ACC brand. We are now from Miami all the way to Berkeley. I think there's a way to sell this differently where you don't seem idiotic and you don't seem like you were just grasping at straws. I think it's a quality conference.
Yeah,
I'm
actually
if
more.
I line them up, it's the SEC, it's the Big Ten, it's the Big 12, and it's the ACC. But I still think the ACC is better this year than it has been in years.
I'm actually more excited about ACC football than I have been in quite a while. It's I said it a couple of weeks ago. It's reminiscent of the way I felt about the Big 12, the Pac-12 this year. Knowing it was their last year, that was the most exciting Pac-12 season we've had in quite a while.
Okay, I thought you said that about the Big 12, though. So you said that about the ACC?
Yeah.
This is the one you're excited
Well,
about?
I mean, more than I have
Yeah,
been.
I'm the Big 12 guy.
Yeah.
I believe the Big 12. I mean,
No. I'm excited about the Big 12. My point is I'm more excited about the ACC than I have been. Like, I think Miami's going to be better. I don't know that I'm quite where Lance is on them.
Okay.
I think Miami's going to be better.
I agree.
I think Florida State's still going to be good. I don't think they're going to be last year good, but I think they're good enough to win the conference.
I agree.
I think Clemson is good enough to win the conference.
Yeah.
I think SMU is an interesting team in that conference. Don't know that they're good enough to win it, but I think they can play spoiler.
I think they are. If Preston Stone continues to develop, and I know I'm pulling for SMU now. We had Rhett Lashley. He was awesome
I
on the
love
show
Rhett.
when we
Yeah.
were previewing our 40 and 40.
I'm with you.
But I do think, and it would, how comical would it be if SMU rolls in this conference and wins it in year one?
I'd love it.
I mean, based on their schedule, I think they can get to that game, and then it's a one-game situation.
And I think NC State is probably on the same level as SMU. Now, that's five teams out of, what are they, 14 now? 16, whatever the crap
Watch
it
out
is.
for Virginia
16
Tech.
now. And Virginia Tech's a sneaky good team.
They
So
got
that's
an
6
odd
teams.
number, I think. They brought in
Whatever
3.
it is, yeah. So 6 teams. That's
17? Is that
17.
right?
I think
so
17
that's
is it.
6 of 17. I know doesn't sound like a lot, but that's way more than it normally is in the ACC.
Well, that's what I got to in the video last night, Brownie. I was like, okay, so you're talking to me about BC, Syracuse, Pitt.
Oh, yeah. It's not an exciting product.
Virginia.
No Mike Elko Duke. Virginia.
Stanford, who made the college football playoff on your stupid, what was it?
EA Sports college football game. I mean,
You think Troy Taylor would take that?
Yeah, you're one.
there's a lot of games that just put me to sleep over there in the ACC, but I want them to stay around because I don't like just having 2 conferences. So I'm fighting for Jim Phillips, PhD, Dr. Jim Phillips, to go out there and save this thing however he does it.